serving a sentence for drug-related crime. About 4 or 5 Muslim prisoners, we gathered together in one of the cells. He said, Barbara, he said, if you have any spare time, do you think you could...
إذا كنت بالله مستعصما فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In 2014 and 2015, I spent my final year in prison at a federal prison at the top of a mountain in Pennsylvania on the east coast of the United States. I was on a prison where there were 1,200 other prisoners, and approximately 300 of them were Muslim. The unit on which I was in, I met this young brother who was in his late 20s, and he was an African American brother who was serving a sentence for drug-related crime. And he was about 2 years from being released. His name was Abdul Mateen. Now, Abdul Mateen was a tall, very muscular. He was very fit. He used to work out hard, and he had a very chiseled, fit, muscular body. And he was very soft-spoken. And I remember he was on my unit. Sometimes I would go to his cell and I would pray with him, and we used to talk. And he used to pray 5 times a day. He was eager to turn his life around. So he came to me and he asked me, he said, Barbara, he said, if you have any spare time, do you think you could teach me how to read the Quran? And I said, yes, of course, brother. And so I asked my family to send me a small book with which I could teach him. And I began to teach him. Now, I was busy in my prison routine. I had my gym and I had my library and other things to do. But he too had his routine. He would leave in the morning and he would go 7 o'clock in the morning. He would work in the workshop all day, earning money to support himself. Then he would go to the gym. Then he would come back sweating and he'd have to change and shower. Yet he kept on coming to me and he'd say, Barbara, when can we do the lesson? Can we do it today? Can we do it at this time? Can we do it at that time? I never had to go to him. He would always come to me. He was so eager to learn. And so I taught him, and we'd read a page, and then we read another page, and then he was on page 5, then page 15, then eventually he was slowly but surely, he was reading the Quran. So the point where he finished and he began to read the Quran, then I thought, let us celebrate this moment. And I bought some items from the prison commissary. I bought some chocolate bars and some cakes and pastries and some snacks and crisps. And we gathered together in one of the brothers' cells, about 4 or 5 Muslim prisoners. We gathered together in one of the cells, and just to celebrate that moment of him being able to read the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran in Surah Qamar, Surah number 54, verse 17, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. We have made the Quran easy to memorize. Easy to memorize means easy to memorize and read and understand and recite everything. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. So is there anyone that can reflect upon that? And here you had a prisoner who did not know Arabic, for whom he did not know Arabic, but he learned in a short amount of time, within a couple of months, in a prison setting, with me just spending a bit of time with him every day, he was able to learn how to recite the Quran. So we had this little celebration in his cell, and all of the 4 or 5 brothers that were there, they all gave him some advice. And I remember one particular brother who was more knowledgeable than the others. He said that learning how to read the Quran is just the first step, but what is the most important step is to act upon what you read and what you learn. So that was just a small story that I wanted to share, especially for those of you that are reverts, those of you that struggle or for whatever reason, those of you who did not learn to read the Quran or struggle with learning to read the Quran. I hope this story will inspire you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أخي أنت حر وراء السدود، أخي أنت حر بتلك القيود، إذا كنت بالله مستعصما فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد، فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد. أخي أنت حر